Hello, welcome to this edition of Research Connection. Joining me today is Dr. Megan Jacob and Dr. Shiva Keelara. How you guys doing?
Well, how about you?
Good. So let's start with a little bit about yourselves.
I'm Megan Jacob. I'm an associate professor in the PHP department and director of the diagnostic labs, and I'm a microbiologist by training.
I'm Shiva Keelara. I'm a research assistant professor in PHP department. I have DVM from India, and I did my PhD at Kansas State. I'm working as a research assistant professor. My main focus is on antimicrobial resistance of foodborne pathogens and global health.
Neat. And you guys collaborate a lot together. What is the grant you are highlighting today?
Yeah, we do. We've built a nice partnership, largely focused around surveillance efforts for antimicrobial resistance and foodborne pathogen detection. And so the most recent grant we have is funded by the USDA APHIS, which is a national animal health surveillance program for enteric bacteria. And so typically we divvy it up by the different pathogens that we're looking for. And so my research group will take kind of the lead on the E. coli and Shiga toxin producing E. coli and Campylobacter, and then Shiva's group takes the lead on the Salmonella and Enterococcus, and then we both kind of collaborate together for antimicrobial resistance.
Interesting. And what does that collaboration look like?
So yeah, our lab is mainly focusing on isolating and characterizing Salmonella and Enterococcus. So we are like doing partnership like almost like more than 3 years right now. So we did some work for WHO together, and now we are working on USDA grant. In last November, September to December, we had fecal samples from goats as a part of NAM's project, and that was entirely led by Dr. Megan Jacob group. So they were receiving all the samples, and they used to divide into for different pathogens, and we used to get the second step for processing Enterococcus and Salmonella. And we have a graduate student, she's working on processing all those samples. For this year, we plan for a big project with the same USDA NAMS project. We were supposed to receive like around 8,000 samples. And this time we volunteer like to take lead, like my graduate student will take lead in receiving samples and doing all the first step, like entering all the data and note downing the number of samples, like farm information, everything. Then she will divide according to the pathogens into a different tube, and then she will hand over to Dr. Jacob group. So with the COVID, we are not yet started that project. Once the COVID situation is with passed by, so probably USDA starts sampling, then we'll start this project.
I was going to ask, how has the current situation impacted any of that research?
Yeah, so with all of our projects, it's the USDA running these national surveillance programs. So they send their veterinarians in each state out to different farms to do a variety of different sample types and data collection. And then they send some of those biological samples to us for evaluation. And so with all that's happening, with the government restrictions and then with different state restrictions, they're not able to do that on-site collection at this time. So we finished last year's in January, right before the start. But right now we expect it'll be 2021 before we can get going again. It's really cool to highlight that the PHP department has so many of these surveillance programs now. So we do work for WHO in that area. Dr. Thacker has a number of programs through his lab that we both participate in as well. We have this NAMS project. So I think that speaks highly to the microbiology, foodborne detection sort of capacity in our department.
That's neat.
Yeah, and those two projects is a national surveillance project. One is through FDA. Both are FDA. One is genome tracker, other one is retail meat sample surveillance. So recently, both projects were renewed for another 5 years. And our lab is focusing on enterococcus, and Dr. Megan Jacob is focusing on E. coli for both the projects.
PHP getting it done.
That's right.
Well, thanks again, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.